Hello folks tuning into my YouTube channel, and this video today is going to be on snakes, on boas, or particularly my leopard boa that I just recently got, just kind of an update video. I've had this snake for about 5 days, and like the second day that I got it, I had to go out of town for 2 days, and so I'm back and I have a week off, so I'm just hanging out real casual and taking the day easy. It's Saturday today, and I want to update because I came across this fairly good deal on this ZooMed habitat terrarium, and usually these are $150, $160, and so I jumped on the opportunity to get this. I got it on sale. I was just, browsing through my phone while I was out of town in Oklahoma doing a job, and I happened to go to PetSmart, and it was on sale for $119. And then if you applied a save 10 discount or something, save 20 discount, then and it allowed me to apply that secondary discount code. I got this cage for like $92. Of course, there's a little bit of tax on that, but I was like, yeah, I can't pass that up. I got to get that. And it's a front opening door system. Let me show you that real quick. I have no experience with this terrarium, so anyone that has experience with this terrarium, chime in, let me know. I've got some questions because there's no instructions. Does it need instructions? I don't know. I don't think so. But I mean, there are just a few things that I didn't know that were rattling around in the cage when I got it. And it's quite heavy, and I had to maneuver this in my car by myself and in the house by myself. And it's like this huge, thing, and coming into the door spaces, it barely made it. And it was a little bit of a struggle because you don't want to drop it and you don't want to, squeeze it too hard and crush it. I'll get into that in just a second. It's going to be more of a review of the cage than the snake. The snake, my leopard boa, Carmela, is actually sleeping in there, so I'm not going to really disturb her today. But just wanted to show you the cage setup that I went with because I'm fairly excited about it. But so there's some things that I didn't know and don't fully understand. But let me just show you real quick. So the terrariums that I have are Zilla. I have Zilla 40 breeders is what they call them, and I have 2 of them. And I got incredible deals on those. I got them for like $50 and maybe $45 one, and then the other maybe I got for $60. But now they're selling for $158 because I priced them out. And in the store and online, and they're incredibly expensive. The difference with those are they're nice terrariums, but the top slides off. So the only way to gain access to the terrarium is by sliding the top off. You can't lift half of it off, or pull half of it off, meaning half. One side screen can stay on, and then the other part of the screen comes off. So you actually have a place to rest your lights on top. So depending on how you stack your aquariums or how you have your terrariums, it's difficult because you got to take all the lights off and all the elements that you have up on top, and you've got to, because they're plugged in, you've got to have a place nearby to rest those. And sometimes the light's going, and if you turn your light off, like this light, if you turn it off, you can't start it up for another 15 minutes. It's a ballast light, UVB, UVA, really cool light. And here I've got my ceramic, or this is the infrared one. This is the infrared heating element, and this is the ceramic. And so I have this set up to where when this light goes off, because it puts a fair amount of heat in there, and keeps the terrarium about 82 degrees. It's not stellar, but this a lot of my boas, from just years of observation, and this guy, just watching him scatter from the heat. When he sees the heat or feels the heat, man, he goes up here in the corner and hides, or down here and hides. I don't think that my boas in general, need it as warm as people think. 85, 87 with a 95, basking spot. 90 degrees in my boas will act like they want to just die. They want to give up life. And so I'm just basing everything that I'm seeing and learning is off my reptile's behavior. And I think that's key for a lot of people to do. Don't necessarily listen to what everyone has to say, because reptiles come from different parts of the continent, or from north to south, or north to south, and in between. And there's all kinds of different elevations and different things that they tend to come from, and so they have a lot of different needs as far as temperature, humidity, and things of that nature. So this terrarium being in this room, it's a little bit more difficult for me to keep the temperature up higher, because I would have to add another light heat source, and that's a lot of heat or a lot of power going out. And also too, you got to regulate the temperature in a certain size space, and so you add another light to maintain heat in one area, then you're just going to level it out and have 85 to 90 degrees all over, and there's not going to be a cool spot for the reptile to go to get away from heat if it wants. But okay, off on a tangent, but let me just tell you this. So this one, the ones that I have that I like, I've been doing well, that the top slides off the rails and comes off, and then you got to find a place to put the top while your lights are off. So that's not cool. It's kind of a disappointment, but it's something I've been dealing with for like 2 years. This one here, you can come in, has a little safety lever here, and you can come in and you can open the doors and come in from the front. This is one thing I'm just telling you, that this Zoom Ed, and they range from like $160 to $250, but the $250 ones come with setups inside, logs and a dish, or a food dish, a water dish, a little heating pad, a rock, and it comes set up for how if you're going to put a lizard in there, a snake in there, anything that reptile wise, they kind of specialize that, so that's why they're more expensive. But this one is not cheap, and so when you try to open this door, it catches. So this is just something that it's a little bit cheapy. This Zoom Ed, it's a little bit cheapy. It's a lot of plastic. The glass is very nice. It aligns very well, but all the plastic, everything that's plastic, is real flexible, real flimsy, real thin material. And these tops come off, so both of these panels lift off and you can get off, so you have complete front access and down access to clean and do whatever you need to do, put a background in, or do a lot of interior maintenance. And so those come off, and man, they're you can almost twist them in your hand. They're really flimsy, and so for $160, I would love to see this definitely more sturdy. But in this day and age, things have gotten so expensive because our economy is so crappy, and the people running our country are running it into the ground. That's just the way it is. That something that's $160 now, 10 years ago that was $70 was more substantial than this setup now today, because of the cost of glass and plastic and the processes to make it. So this is what's really cool. And my bed's in here. I'm in my bedroom because I have to quarantine this animal from the other snakes, and this is going to be for maybe 3 weeks or the month, or as long as I can hold out. And so this is why this is in my bedroom, in a completely different environment. But it's okay. It works out good. I can wake up and see the snake in the morning and keep an eye on him in the evening time. But yeah, so these doors will shut, and it has this little, which is neat. It has a little lever right here that you push down and it opens up. This side works pretty well, but this side hits, and you can't shut it unless you come in and you lift this up. See how flexible this is? You lift this up, and then it snaps shut, and then you can shut that one. And the reptile's not getting out as long as you have the top on and the door shut. So this is a pretty nice terrarium. One thing I don't know what, and maybe someone can advise me, it came with these little clips, And the lighting in my room, I've modified it a little bit to make it a little bit brighter light in here. But there's these little V clips, and they're notched in the centers, and there's 3 of them, and they look like they would come apart, but they don't, and maybe they don't because that side is solid. I don't know. This is some kind of cable management. It came with 4 of them, and see the camera's probably not going to focus because of the poor light in here, but I don't know where those go and what to do with those. And there's a venting system here that it says on the box to get fresh air in there. I don't know if those can open or close. Gone into the investigation that much of seeing how that works, but no instructions, nothing written on the box about that, so I don't know. But I've got my humidity and temperature gauge in there, another ZoomEd product, cheapy. It's probably not 100% spot on, but I also bought 2 bags of Forest Floor, and I don't remember if that's I don't think it's a ZoomEd product, but Forest Floor is the title of the substrate, and I bought 2 bags, and that was like $22, and that's really good stuff. It's really good feeling. And I had to put a lot in here, and then I had some moss, some sphagnum moss that I put in there, and that holds moisture really, really well. And I just makeshift quickly put in a little half dome piece of wood that I got naturally. It has a little cutout space so the snake can go, in underneath it, and he hangs out there. And some rocks that I outsourced, just from being around and picked up, and some different logs that I got from the lake, and a water dish, and it seems to be fairly well. The snake that I got is, since he's so brand new, there's been times that, the snake has been not so such a great temperament. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes the snake is just perfect. I can take the snake out, and it seems like it knows who I am, and it's known me for years, and it's just very, very docile. Then other times I catch it in a scenario where it just doesn't want to be held, or where it's upset, and that thing will strike out, and it's not that bad. I talk about being bit and how I don't like it, and how it sounds so terrible, but that little snake, when it bites you, it's like a puff of air. He'll hit you, and he'll open his mouth and get you, but it's like blowing through a straw with a puff of air. I mean, it's ridiculous. I just kind of forgot. I was like, I don't even want this snake to bite me, but it's so minimal and so harmless that it's like laughable. It's like, he just bit me, but it felt like a puff of air. But hopefully I can get that, with time. She appears to be getting used to me, and I can go in there, and the personality is not, is plus or minus, extreme or non-extreme. One day everything's good, the other day it just doesn't want to be looked at by a human being. But it's getting better, and that's just possibly because the snake was so new, and I'm rushing into this, and I'm talking about things that are only over a couple of days, and so most of this stuff is to be expected. But this is the terrarium. Let me take the camera off and just show you a close-up. Like I mentioned, this is a infrared heater with a coil in it that puts down heat. This is the one of the reptile makers of a ballasted UVB, UVA light, and I'm not using the correct terminology right at this second. And here is a ZoomEd ceramic heater, 100-watt ceramic heater, and so this is what I'm trying to use to maintain, about 83 during the day, and keep it, close to about 79 at night, because both of these heaters will run at night, and the light goes off. So let me just bring you in here, and that's what's cool about having the front doors that open. You can see and get real easy access to getting in the terrarium. Let me see if we can go in there and see. Also have a little place right there under the rock that she can go. She likes to maybe hide a lot now that I've had her for about a week. Before, she would not. She would hang out on the limbs up here at the top of that limb, and over here on the opposite side of the terrarium, over on top of that limb right there, and would stay right up in the corners away from the lights. But now the little girl will actually go into her hide spaces and partake in hiding. So that's good. I think she's just getting more comfortable. It's to be understood. Completely understand. But that's my setup. And instead of getting her out and disturbing my Leopard Boa, we're just going to leave her in there. But that's the video for today. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have one of these ZooMed Habitat 40, it's like 36 inches width-wise. It's the larger one that ZooMed has. Let me know if you've had it and how it's going for you, and maybe what those little clips are that I discussed. These little clips here, I just don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't want to discard them or lose them. If they're helpful for something, maybe cord management like I mentioned. But that's it. That's my video. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I appreciate everyone that watches, and have a great Saturday. All right, bye-bye.